Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I've been really sick with a cold for the past week or so I'm just going to do a screen capture for this episode. I hope that's cool. And today I'm going to do something a little different. So I've had a lot of requests for different softwares, different DAWs, and I pretty much only use Pro Tools, but I do use Adobe Audition for noise reduction. So today I'm going to go over some noise reduction techniques that I've used before that I use regularly in Adobe Audition. So I only use Adobe Audition for noise reduction, and that's mostly because I prefer to use Pro Tools. That's what I was taught to use. That's what most professional studios use. But the noise reduction plugins that are in Pro Tools that are available for Pro Tools, those are really expensive. And I do teach an audio for film class at a college. So I get the Creative Suite through that job, so I do have access to Adobe Audition through that. And the noise reduction functions in Adobe Audition are really good, so I use it for that, and then I use Pro Tools for mostly everything else. So when we're working in the studio, when we're recording audio in a sound booth or in a professional studio, we don't really have a huge need for noise reduction. So usually when I'm doing noise reduction, it's for a film project. So a lot of on-location film audio, we can't control a lot of the parameters. Sound doesn't exactly get a priority. So a lot of times, there's wind sounds, there might be, traffic sounds, there might be fan sounds, air conditioning sounds, refrigerator sounds. There can be a lot of different unwanted sounds that get mixed up into the on-location audio for a film project. So usually when I use these types of noise reduction functions in Audition, it's for something like a film project. It's usually the on-location audio, or it's for something like a podcast where they're recording the podcast themselves. And it'll be one of the first things that I'll do is I'll run the noise reduction on the audio before moving on with the project. So today what I figure I'll do is I'll cover some of the most common noise reduction methods that I use in Adobe Audition. And there are actually a whole bunch of noise reduction methods that you can use within this program. And they're really good. You can get really in depth with it. So I'm sure there's going to be some that I don't cover in today's video because of time constraints. I've got a lot going on right now. I went on a trip for a week, and then I had some friends visit from out of town, surprise visit for a week, and then I started getting a cold at the end of that. So it's just been like me trying to do the bare minimum for work for the past few weeks, and it's really catching up to me. So time constraints, a bunch of other things. I'm probably not going to cover all of these functions today in this video, but I'm going to cover some of the ones that I use the most, the ones that I find the most useful. And any of the noise reduction functions that I don't cover in this video, I'll just have to put on my list to cover in a future video for you guys. So I hope that's okay. I hope you like this video. I hope you find it useful. So for this video, to save some time, I'm not going to go through and find my own examples of audio with noise in them already, and I'm not going to make my own, but I'm going to instead use a pack that I have that I use for my students when I'm teaching. And so these are just example audio files that already have existing noise issues with them, and I believe they're made by Adobe for the purpose of learning these noise reduction functions that they have. So I will be using those. And I did look for them online for you guys to see if I could link to them, but I couldn't find it. So I think what I'll do is I'll make them available on Patreon to my Patreon subscribers. So if you're a subscriber, keep an eye out for that if you want to practice using these functions. Otherwise, you can just use your own audio files, right? So these are the audio files that I'm going to be using. I might not go through all of these today. I might just do some of the basics and then move along depending on how much time I have here. But these are my files. Each one you can kind of tell what the issue is. So if I play this, that's pretty obvious, right? That hum there. So it's stuff like that. Okay, so what I'm going to start by doing is just show you the basic workflow here in Audition. So I'm going to show you the import process, going to show you a really basic noise reduction process, and then I'm going to show you the export process. So I'll show you that, and then you can know that this import and export process is going to be the same for all of these noise reduction processes. So what you're going to do is you're going to import the file first. So you can do Command I, or you can go File, Import. And then you're just going to find your files, right? So I might start with this broadband hum because it's really obvious and easy to work with. I'm just going to hit open. And then you'll see your file here. You can move around in the file right here. So this is like your timeline in Pro Tools kind of. You can hit the plus key or the minus key to zoom in and out. And basically with almost all of these noise reduction processes, what you're going to do is you're going to highlight a section where it's just the noise. That's the ideal. You want the computer to be able to look at just the noise at some point, and then it'll get the noise print for you. So basically, I'm going to find a section where it's just the noise. So I'm going to hit spacebar to play. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good sampling of the noise. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Effects, Noise Reduction, and you can either hit Capture Noise Print here, or you can go straight to the process that you want to use. So this is the one that I use the most, is the noise reduction process. So I just open it up, and this is blank right now because I have not captured my noise print yet. So since I have my noise section highlighted here in the timeline, I can just hit Capture Noise Print, and then it captures this noise print right here for me. So basically, you're going to do something similar in all these noise reduction processes. There are a few that are very different, and I'll show you guys those, I think, if I have time. But basically, you highlight the noise, you capture the noise print. It works the same way in a lot of the Pro Tools noise reduction plugins as well. But once you capture the noise print, you can then go select the entire file. You can hit play, you can listen back. And what you can do is you have the noise reduction slider here, and you have the reduce by slider. And those are the two things that I pay the most attention to. You know what, I'm going to go back to just this noise at the beginning so that we can hear it. Okay, so what you can do is you can mess with this noise reduction slider here, and that just tells you whether it's reducing more or less of the noise. And then you can also mess with the reduce by slider, and those are the two main sliders that I really look at. And the reduce by is just in decibels, so it's, it's how many decibels it's reduced by. And what I like to do is I usually kind of end up around in the same places with these two sliders, but it does depend on the audio a little bit. And what you want to do is you want to listen, you want to reduce it so that the noise is reduced, but then you also want to go and listen to whatever audio you do want to keep, right? Because this noise reduction is going to cut into all of the audio across that frequency spectrum. So it might cut into the audio that you want to keep. So you do want to make sure that you listen to the audio that you want to keep, and you kind of A/B test it. So what I like to do is I like to listen to the noise. So that sounds great. I'm not hearing much of anything right now. I can then toggle this and hear just what it's removing. Right? And then I can also turn it on and off. So without processing, with processing. Right? And then what you want to do is you want to just adjust these values until it sounds how you want it to sound. So usually what I'll do is I'll then listen to some of the audio that I want to keep. So you hear how it's removing some of this wanted audio. I'm not too upset about how much it's removing here, but if I were to crank this way up, it might reduce it too much, and it might make then the processed audio sound weird, especially if it's something like a human voice where we're very in tune with the frequency balance, with the textures. We can pick up on it really quick if we start cutting into the sound using noise reduction. So you want to be careful of that. So I'll listen to it with the processing on and off, and that's really just to listen to the original sound and remind myself how much this processing is cutting into that original sound, so I can make a decision about how hard I want to run this noise reduction, right? So that's the basic idea there. And then you can mess with these advanced settings here, so spectral decay rate, smoothing, transition width, precision factor. I only mess with these if I start hearing things like at the beginning or end of a sound, you can kind of hear the noise for a second and then you hear the processing kick in. Or if it sounds like the way that the processing is kicking in and out is a little bit funky. It's almost the way a compressor can be kind of like pumping in and out if you don't set the attack and decay rates well. I feel like that's kind of similar with these settings. So that's when I'll use them, is when it's doing something weird like that with the wanted audio and then dropping into silence. But again, it depends on the audio you have. It can depend on how you're mixing the audio in with other elements. So maybe it's okay to cut into the audio a little bit more because you're going to be putting a lot of busy music behind it or something, right? So it's all up to you. It does depend on what you're working on, right? But these advanced settings are here if you want them. Usually I just mess with these two values, the noise reduction and the reduce by values. And then once you have it how you want to make sure that you're not outputting the noise only, right? And you want to make sure that this is on, that you haven't turned it off during this process, right? So you want to make sure that's on, output noise only is off. And then what you do is you just select entire file, and then you can just hit apply. And so this is kind of like, it's kind of like using Audio Suite in Pro Tools. So it's actually writing it to the audio file within your DAW here. So it's not a plugin that you can just toggle on and off. So you do want to be sure of what you're doing. And also for that same reason, I like to then save out the audio file under a different name. So I'm not replacing the original audio file, because there are instances when you might want to go backwards, right? So I hit apply. And then you can listen to your audio file with the noise reduction applied. So you see how that noise is now gone? Pretty nice. And then you listen to the whole thing. I like to double check, make sure it sounds good. And once you have it how you like it, then what I like to do is I do Command A to select all. I'm not really sure if that matters. It probably doesn't. But then what I like to do is I like to export my audio file. So what I will do is I'll either do Command Shift E to export my file, or you can open up the same dialog by going File, Export, if you don't remember the shortcut. And sometimes I don't remember the shortcut. I mean, I don't run noise reduction a whole bunch. It does kind of depend on what kind of projects I'm working on. I've been running them more lately than before, but whatever. So anyway, then what I like to do is I like to do _NR, and that stands for noise reduction. That's just my convention for how I name things. But I like to just do _NR, so I know that that's the noise reduced file. And then what I'll do is I'll hit browse and I'll pick where it goes. So I'll just put it here so that I can see it here in this folder for my YouTube video that I'm making. Then you just hit save, and then what you can do is you can pick your settings here how you want them. So usually if something's in WAV, I will just leave it in WAV unless the client wants it in a different format specifically. But usually when I'm running noise reduction, it's kind of like an internal process, like I'm running noise reduction and then I'm doing something else to it. So I'll usually just keep it the highest quality that I can. So I'll keep it at whatever it was coming in as. So WAV, 44.1, 16-bit. Awesome, right? So once you pick the location, you rename it, you check these settings, then you're good to export. So I just hit OK, and it exports my file. Ta-da! So now if I look in my Finder, I can see it right here. So here's my noise reduced file. So if I open it up, cool. So that's the basic process for running noise reduction in Audition. And then within Audition, there's a whole bunch of other functions that we can use to do different types of noise reduction. Hey guys, so it's Cato from the future here, and I'm working on editing this video, and it's already really long. It's almost 13 minutes long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this up into 3 videos total. So I was going to do 2 videos on this noise reduction stuff, but I'm now going to do 3 videos. So my next long video in 2 weeks is going to be a continuation of this one, and I'll go over the different types of noise reduction processing that we have in Audition. So yeah, I hope you're looking forward to that video. I hope you found this one useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, or check out my Patreon. It's patreon.com/CatoNoise. I'll be coming out with new videos every Wednesday, and thank you for watching. Okay.